Have you ever finished a lovely meal, perhaps a delicious curry or some freshly boiled rice, and instinctively popped the leftovers into the fridge, thinking you'd enjoy them again tomorrow? It's something we've all done. A sensible way to avoid waste and make life a little easier, especially as we get a bit older. But what if I told you that some of those familiar dishes, when reheated, can actually turn into silent troublemakers for your health? It's a painful reality that what seems like a harmless leftover can sometimes lead to an upset stomach. Or, even worse, something far more serious. Our bodies, as they mature, become a little more sensitive, a little less forgiving of certain things. And food safety is certainly one of them. The secret is knowing which foods are your friends when it comes to reheating, and which ones you should politely decline a second warm-up. In this video, we're going to uncover 3 surprising foods you should absolutely never reheat, and 3 others you absolutely must reheat to keep yourself safe and sound. It's not about fear, but about being informed and making smart choices for your well-being. Watch to the end for something that will truly surprise you about your kitchen habits. Let's start by shining a light on those foods that, despite our best intentions, should generally avoid a second trip through the microwave or oven. The first one might just be a staple in your home, something you probably have in your pantry right now: rice. Yes, rice. That comforting side dish or the base of so many wonderful meals can actually be quite tricky when it comes to reheating. The danger with cooked rice isn't necessarily the reheating itself, but what can happen between the time it's cooked and when it's stored. Uncooked rice can contain spores of a bacterium called Bacillus cereus. Now, these spores are incredibly resilient, and they can survive the cooking process. If cooked rice is left standing at room temperature for too long, these spores can multiply and produce toxins. And here's the really important part: these toxins aren't destroyed by reheating. So, even if you heat your rice until it's piping hot, those toxins can still be present and can cause food poisoning, leading to symptoms like vomiting and diarrhea. It's a nasty surprise you definitely want to avoid. The key here is rapid cooling and proper storage. After you've cooked rice, if you're not going to eat it all right away, divide it into smaller portions and cool it as quickly as possible. Ideally, within an hour. You can spread it out on a clean, shallow tray or plate to help it cool faster. Once it's cool, pop it straight into the fridge, and crucially, try to eat any reheated rice within 24 hours of its initial cooking, and never reheat it more than once. Think of it this way: fresh is always best, but if you must save it, treat that cooked rice like it's precious cargo, cooling it down faster than a summer breeze and tucking it into the fridge without delay. It's a simple shift in habit that can make a world of difference to your tummy and your overall health. Now, let's move on to our second food that often gets a second chance in the kitchen, but perhaps shouldn't. Cooked chicken. Chicken, when it's freshly cooked, is a lean, delicious source of protein. But once it cools down, its protein composition can change, and it becomes more susceptible to bacterial growth, particularly salmonella. When you reheat chicken, especially if it's not done thoroughly and evenly, you run the risk of creating a breeding ground for these harmful bacteria. And it's so easy for this to happen, isn't it? We pop a piece of chicken into the microwave, and sometimes it heats unevenly, leaving cool spots where bacteria can happily survive and multiply. Imagine you've made a lovely roast chicken dinner, and you have some leftovers. The temptation is strong to just slice it up and warm it through for a sandwich or another meal. But here's the catch for chicken, or any poultry for that matter. To be safe when reheated, it needs to reach a core temperature of at least 100 to 65 degrees Fahrenheit or 74 degrees Celsius throughout. That means no cold spots, no lukewarm patches. It needs to be steaming hot all the way through, from the very center. If you're reheating a large piece, like a whole breast or thigh, consider cutting it into smaller pieces first to ensure even heating. And just like with rice, chicken should only be reheated once. If you've cooked it, chilled it, and then reheated it, that's its last journey. Any further reheating increases the risk significantly. So, if you're planning to make a chicken salad with leftover roast chicken, It's actually safer to enjoy it cold rather than trying to warm it up, unless you're absolutely certain you can get it uniformly hot throughout. It's about being mindful and giving your body the best chance to stay healthy, without any unwelcome guests causing trouble in your digestive system. It's a small detail, but these small details are exactly what protect us and keep us feeling our best, ready for whatever the day brings. It's all about understanding the science behind the food, not to scare you, but to empower you with knowledge. And for our third food on the Never Reheat list, we come to something that might surprise many of you, especially if you love a hearty side dish or a comforting main meal: potatoes. Yes, potatoes. Those versatile spuds we enjoy in so many forms, from baked to boiled to mashed. The concern with cooked potatoes, particularly baked potatoes or those that are foil wrapped, is a sneaky bacterium called Clostridium botulinum. This is the same bacterium that causes botulism, a serious and sometimes fatal food poisoning. Now, these spores are present in soil, and therefore on potatoes, when potatoes are cooked and then left to cool slowly at room temperature, especially when wrapped tightly in foil. They create a low oxygen environment, a perfect breeding ground for Clostridium botulinum to thrive and produce its dangerous toxins. Just like with the Bacillus cereus in rice, these toxins are not destroyed by reheating. So, if you've cooked potatoes, especially in their skins or wrapped in foil, and left them out for too long, even reheating them thoroughly won't make them safe. The advice here is similar to rice if you're not eating cooked potatoes right away. Cool them quickly and refrigerate them promptly. Remove them from foil immediately after cooking to allow heat to escape. If you've made a big batch of mashed potatoes, again, portion them out and cool them down in the fridge as quickly as possible. And when you do reheat them, make sure they are steaming hot all the way through. But if there's any doubt about how long they've been sitting out, or if they were wrapped up and cooled slowly, it's truly safer to just toss them. It might feel wasteful, but your health is far more valuable than a leftover potato. Think of it as a small investment in your well-being, ensuring that every meal you enjoy contributes to your vitality, rather than posing a hidden risk. This mindful approach to handling leftovers is truly a cornerstone of healthy aging, helping us navigate our kitchens with confidence and care. Now that we've discussed the foods that need a bit of extra caution when it comes to reheating, let's talk about the other side of the coin, the 3 foods that you absolutely must reheat. And reheat properly, to ensure they are safe and delicious for a second serving. This is where we shift from caution to confidence, understanding that some dishes actually benefit from being thoroughly warmed up again. The first category here is perhaps one of the most common and comforting soups, stews, and casseroles. These dishes are often made in large batches, designed for multiple meals, and they are fantastic candidates for reheating. Think about that rich beef stew, a warming chicken noodle soup, or a hearty vegetable casserole, because these dishes typically contain a mix of ingredients, including meats, vegetables, and broths. They are highly susceptible to bacterial growth if not handled correctly after the initial cooking. The very nature of their ingredients means that bacteria, if present, can multiply rapidly when left at unsafe temperatures. Therefore, when you're ready to enjoy a second serving, it is absolutely crucial that you reheat these dishes until they are bubbling hot throughout. No, we're talking about reaching that magic 165 degrees Fahrenheit or 74 degrees Celsius in every single part of the dish. Stirring is your best friend here, especially if you're using a microwave, to ensure that the heat distributes evenly and eliminates any potential cold spots where bacteria could lurk. If you're reheating on the stovetop, bring the mixture to a rolling boil for at least a minute. This thorough heating process kills off any harmful bacteria that might have grown during storage. It's not just about making it warm, it's about making it safe, and often. These types of dishes actually taste even better the next day, as the flavors have had more time to meld and develop. So, embrace the leftovers, but do so with the knowledge that a good bubbling reheat is your guardian against illness. It's a simple step that turns a convenient meal into a truly safe and satisfying experience. Moving on to our second category of foods, you absolutely must reheat properly any dish containing cooked meat or poultry that has been cooled. This includes things like leftover roasts, cooked mince dishes like spaghetti bolognese, chicken curries, or even shepherd's pie. Similar to soups and stews, these dishes are packed with protein and moisture, making them ideal environments for bacterial growth if they are not cooled and stored properly, and then reheated thoroughly when you first cook meat or poultry. You're killing off bacteria that might be present, but once it cools, new bacteria can start to form if the conditions are right, and if you're not reheating it to that critical temperature of 165 degrees Fahrenheit or 74 degrees Celsius all the way through, you're leaving yourself vulnerable. Imagine a large piece of roast beef from Sunday dinner. If you slice it cold for a sandwich, that's perfectly fine, because you're not trying to bring it back up to temperature. But if you want to enjoy it warm, perhaps with some gravy, then every part of that meat needs to reach a safe temperature. This means no pink in the middle if it was cooked through initially, and definitely no lukewarm sections. If you're reheating a large piece of meat, it's often a good idea to slice it into smaller portions first. This increases the surface area and allows heat to penetrate more quickly and evenly. For dishes like curries or bolognese, stir them frequently while reheating on the stovetop or in the microwave to ensure that the heat reaches every nook and cranny. And remember, just like with the never reheat list, the golden rule applies here too. Reheat these dishes only once. Plan your meals so that if you have a large amount, you portion it out into single servings before freezing or refrigerating. So you only take out and reheat what you need for that specific meal. This careful approach to handling meat and poultry leftovers is a crucial part of preventing foodborne illnesses and keeping you feeling vibrant and well. It's about being smart in the kitchen, not just efficient, ensuring that every meal you prepare and enjoy contributes positively to your health journey. And for our third category of foods that absolutely demand thorough reheating dishes containing cooked seafood or eggs. Now, both seafood and eggs are wonderful sources of nutrition, but they are also notoriously delicate when it comes to food safety. Cooked fish, prawns, or any shellfish, as well as dishes made with cooked eggs like quiches or frittatas, can become unsafe if not handled and reheated with extreme care. Think about that lovely salmon fillet you had for dinner last night. If you're planning to warm it up for lunch, it needs to be heated until it's steaming hot throughout. Seafood, in particular, has a very short shelf life once cooked, and it's a prime target for bacterial growth if not kept at safe temperatures. The same goes for egg dishes. Eggs, whether scrambled, in an omelet, or baked into a quiche, can carry salmonella bacteria, and while cooking them initially kills these off, if the dish cools slowly or sits out, new bacteria can multiply. So, when you reheat a slice of quiche, for example, make sure the center is piping hot. You can even use a food thermometer to check if you want to be extra precise, aiming for that 165 degrees Fahrenheit or 74 degrees Celsius. For seafood, you'll notice it starts to flake easily and is hot all the way through. It's especially important to avoid merely warming these items. That lukewarm temperature range is often referred to as the danger zone, where bacteria multiply most rapidly. Your goal is to get it through that danger zone as quickly as possible and reach a temperature that guarantees safety. And again, reheat only once. If you have leftover fish or a quiche, plan to eat it the next day and reheat it fully before enjoying it. If you're unsure, or if it's been sitting out for longer than 2 hours at room temperature after cooking, it's always best to err on the side of caution and discard it. Your peace of mind and health are simply not worth the risk. Making these informed choices about reheating is a powerful way to take control of your well-being, ensuring that every meal is a source of nourishment and enjoyment, free from worry. So, as we bring our conversation to a close, remember the golden rules we've discussed today. Some foods, like rice, chicken, and potatoes, require extra vigilance when it comes to reheating. The key with these is always rapid cooling and prompt refrigeration after initial cooking. And if there's any doubt about how they've been handled, it's safer to avoid reheating them altogether or to consume them cold if appropriate, like cold chicken in a sandwich. On the other hand, dishes like your comforting soups, stews, casseroles, meat and poultry dishes, and anything with seafood or eggs demand thorough reheating until they are steaming hot all the way through. This ensures that any bacteria that might have developed during cooling are safely eliminated. It's all about understanding the subtle but crucial differences in how different foods behave when they're cooked, cooled, and then warmed up again. This isn't about complicating your kitchen routine. It's about empowering you with simple yet vital knowledge that can protect your health and enhance your peace of mind. Small changes in your food handling habits can make a truly big difference to your health and happiness, helping you feel your best every single day. We've all been in situations where we've felt a little off after eating leftovers. And often, it's these little-known facts about reheating that are the culprit. But now you're equipped with the information to make safer, healthier choices. I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever experienced a surprising reaction after eating reheated food? What are your go-to tips for safe meal prep and leftovers? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your insights could help someone else in our wonderful community. If you found this video helpful and informative, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. We're dedicated to bringing you more practical advice and helpful tips to help you live your best life at every age. Thank you for joining me today. And remember, staying informed is one of the most powerful steps you can take for your well-being. Live your best life at every age.